Danny Sheehan says we have alien DNA, and it's been studied, guys. We've got to talk about that and a whole lot more. It's time for another UFO News Roundup, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. Oh my gosh, Danny Sheehan, lawyer for David Grush and Lue Elizondo, says they have studied alien DNA, and here is what he has to say.
This is an extraordinary event. I mean, when you have, and everybody knows now about Colonel Grush, testifying in the House Oversight Committee under oath that we are in possession of a non-human extraterrestrial spacecraft, and the bodies that are non-human. The DNA tests have shown that they're non-human. Now, that's a big story.
The DNA tests have shown, but have we seen any DNA tests?
They've got them. The Senate Intelligence Committee's got it.
So how, with Grush, how many total witnesses?
So there you go, guys. Congress has the alien DNA. What are they doing with it? They haven't released it. I haven't seen them release any alien DNA results. Have you? Have you seen Congress release some DNA results from the beings? Let me know. They have not released that. Why have they not released that? Is that national security? How is that national security? That's such BS. Danny Sheehan, of course, Danny Sheehan says a lot of things. Who knows how true all of that is. But I tend to believe him on this. We know they've got alien DNA. John Ramirez has talked about that. CIA John Ramirez has talked about how they have studied DNA from the beings and that they found some human DNA mixed in there. And that was one reason why they were going to refuse to release this. Now, many are asking, well, hey, DNA is kind of weird, right? It's strange that they would even have DNA coming from another planet. Well, if human beings were created by the beings, from a stock of DNA they probably used some of that DNA to create other beings, like the Nazca mummies, like the Greys, whatever, right? So we may all have some of the same DNA. It may have all come from the same place. Just a thought, guys, just a thought. Either way, Danny Sheehan says we've got the DNA. Not just we, but Congress has the DNA. Oh my God. Pony up with the DNA, guys. National security, my eye. Okay, by the way, David Grush vetted Michael Herrera. I love it. I love Mike. I hope to have him on the channel again soon to talk about some really juicy stuff. But meanwhile, check this out.
David Grush. Speaking of that, while we're on, on that topic, do you know David?
I do. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Him and I talk. So he's helped me out in a lot of ways. But that's all I'm going to say. He's working on things. He's done things on the back end for me, but he's a good dude. He's very solid. Through him, so if anybody is familiar with Jonathan Weygand, he was a Marine in 1997 that came up with upon that crash retrieval that happened in Peru in 1997. He Grush and his associates, because Grush and I had the same attorney for a little bit because we were trying to figure out how to do this human trafficking thing. And that's why his attorney reached out to me and vice versa. David Grush vetted me, right? Because David Grush, he's got assets that you wish you could have as a person. So
let's just say that one more time. David Grush vetted Michael Herrera. I think we can end it at that.
I like it. It's a great interview with Mike, and I'll link to the full video, and you can watch the full thing at your leisure. But I just had to share that with you guys. Mike Herrera has been vetted by David Grush. I can't share things that Mike has told me privately, but I don't think he would mind me saying that I believe him 100% that David Grush has vetted him. Meanwhile, Whitley Strieber gives us an update for the next Soul Conference.
I think I'm satisfied with where it is. Yeah, I'll say that to begin. Okay. I was not allowed to ask to speak at the Soul Foundation, and so I asked questions instead to make the presence of the experiencers known. And I know Gary Nolan pretty well. We're friends. I consider him a friend, a good friend, in fact. And we talked about it. And he said, the problem is that there were a lot of people at that conference who simply wouldn't be comfortable listening to an experiencer talk because they are not ready to deal with the idea that there might be somebody coming out of these things. And understand that. And we have to take it step by step. The next conference is going to be in Washington. And once again, I don't think experiencers will be involved. And if experiencers are involved, I'm thinking that it might be someone soft first, because there are people with softer experiences than I've had. I'm the kind of guy.
Yeah, he's been through the ringer. He really has, but yet he emerges optimistic about the phenomenon and seemingly in a good place with it. They gave him an implant that has, according to Whitley, allowed him to communicate with his late wife. In fact, they've written a couple of books together since she passed. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Great books, too. I highly recommend those books, especially A New World. Really, really beautiful book. But there you go. I will let you listen to the full interview with Whitley at your leisure, and I'll link to it below. Great stuff. But what is it all about? What does it all mean? Not just the aliens, but everything. Well, Project Unity has a really intriguing post that I wanted to share with you guys. He says, like the Mandelbrot set, I almost envision an infinite mind injecting itself into a new domain where time is now a factor. The infinite mind cannot instantly express itself fully in this new realm because anything in this new realm now takes time. And so this infinite mind behind the whole process embryonically encodes itself into the forces that explode into creation and then begins to unfold itself in its true form over time. This infinite mind cannot manifest itself in its full form instantly because unlike the infinite, unbounded realm that it represents, this new realm has something called time as a factor. And so a gradual unfolding of sequences play out over what we understand as billions and billions of years of evolutionary time. And as this time extends out and this energy unfolds, it becomes more and more like its truest nature. Also, basic matter in simple systems eventually form into advanced matter in complex systems. Human beings are an expression of a sufficiently complex and advanced enough system through which enough of this infinite mind can propagate to allow for self-awareness, sentience, and perhaps even the ability to command fundamental forces at appropriate levels of awareness. And so we are like an example of an antenna arising out of the unfounding process, a piece of evidence that the process is getting closer to re-becoming its original form. I love it. I thought those were some great thoughts from Jay, and I just had to share them with you. Speaking of trippy coolness, check this out. 432 Hertz. The beings often talk about frequency and vibration, something Nikola Tesla talked about. It comes up a lot and it seems to be important. So why not pay attention, right? Okay, time to lower our vibes a little bit. Our vibes are getting a little too high, guys. Time for us to appreciate a nice low vibe meme about Mike Turner wearing knee pads with Raytheon on them. Gotta bow before your master, Mike. Meanwhile, check out this awesome post from the One. The description of the dead ET bodies that Nixon took Jackie Gleason to see, per Gleason's wife, Bev. They were tiny, only about 2 feet tall, with small heads and disproportionately large ears. Could they have been the Kentucky Goblins? Did Nixon take Jackie Gleason to see some bodies of the Kentucky Goblins? I don't know. It's certainly one of the few examples of small beings with large ears that I can think of. What do you guys think? Meanwhile, although the AI videos are pretty cool and sometimes kind of alarming as far as in the near future we won't be able to tell what's real and what's not real, it's not perfect yet. It's not perfect yet. Look at this guy. He's got 2 arms. He's holding a book with his hand while his arm is hanging down. How is he hanging that? How is he holding that book? What's holding that book up, fella? I can see your hand right there. So, and yeah, it's, yeah. So AI isn't quite there yet, but it's getting there, guys. That's a pretty good video. Last but not least, Majestic Documents Part 2. The list of documents in the possession of Bob and Ryan Wood and the names of the CIA operatives who supplied them. Zerzoff, Goodpasture, and Myler, and the dates received. The remainder may have been provided by various DIA operatives, as per Dr. Eric Davis's recent statement. And if you don't know what they're talking about, Eric Davis confirms that the MJ-12 documents were leaked by the DIA. These documents are official government records, and you can go and read those at your leisure. Eric Davis, yeah, and this is a tweet. So there you go, guys. Really fascinating stuff about Majestic 12 and how those documents may have been leaked by the DIA and the CIA. Now, is that a pro-disclosure faction that is getting authentic documents out, or are they designed as disinformation? I don't know, guys, but let me know your thoughts about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links below. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.